The Champions League last season was crazy, and if you saw it, then this match was one of the reasons to make it crazy. Liverpool unbelievably came back from a 3-0 defeat to win the tie, winning 4-0 in the second leg. Although Barca have a recent reputation of losing a two-leg Champions League tie, especially where the opposition makes a comeback in the second leg, I was particularly interested in this match because the third goal was scored in the 55th minute, which means Barca had more than 35 minutes to score a goal and regain the advantage. So what did Liverpool do to not let Barca score a goal? First of all, let's make something clear. Barca fans say that Liverpool luckily scored 4 goals, and to be honest, I don't disagree with them much. The XG stat for Liverpool, which was 1.8, also says the same thing. I'll explain briefly what XG is later in this video, but until then, know that it stands for expected goals and is exactly that. It says Liverpool were expected to score 1.8 goals in this match, almost 2. See what the website StatsBomb, from where I got this stat, says about how to interpret it. Comparing XG to actual goals scored can indicate a player's shooting ability or luck. Means if the goals scored are more than the XG, then either the goal scorers displayed a great shooting ability or were lucky. And to be fair, none of the goals were world beaters. I mean, just looking at the 4 goals, someone would agree that the 2 scored by Wijnaldum were the expected ones. And of the remaining 2, Alba made a blunder in one, and the other one where the corner was taken quickly has a rare chance of happening again. So if this is clear, I'll say it again, that my reason for being interested in this tie is not that Liverpool scored 4 goals, it is that they did not let Barca score even a single goal in all this time. But were they lucky in this too? Let me tell you why not. Something that was surprising was that Barca had more possession than Liverpool and had the same number of shots on target as the last leg, where they scored 3 goals. Liverpool did not dominate Barca, but this actually proves the point. Dominating the ball and having shots on target are not important until those shots are not dangerous. So how do we say whether a shot was dangerous or not? Currently in football analytics, this is determined by looking at thousands of similar shots and finding how many of those went in, then using a simple probability formula to assign it a probability. If this probability is high, then that means the shot was dangerous. This is exactly what XG is. And an XG of a team for a match is simply the sum of XGs of all the shots on target. I know I only made a brief attempt at explaining this. That is why I'm dropping a video of Opta in the description explaining this metric. This is how each Barca shot looked in terms of their XG. But on an average, each shot had an XG of 0.2. Which means if you retake any of the individual shots multiple times, it would not result in a goal 4 out of 5 times. Simply means that on an average, each shot on target wasn't very dangerous. Besides this, Liverpool restricted Barca to taking just 8 shots in total. Now to give you an idea of how rarely these two numbers occur together, that season only 2 teams managed to let Barca have equal or lower total shots and XG per shot on target. Atletico Madrid, the best defensive team in the whole world, and surprisingly Manchester United, both at their homes. But the difference between these two teams and Liverpool is that Barca had an urgency to score only against Liverpool. And Barca did not lose the matches against Atletico and United. It was a draw and a win for Barca in the same order. So again, what exactly did Liverpool do to manage this? Running some analysis on the stats given for free on the internet tells what exactly changed between the 2 legs, and out of all the changes, I found there to be 3 major changes that made this happen. Remember when Roma kicked out Barca just like Liverpool? I am not the first one to point out that Alisson Becker was the goalkeeper in both of these comebacks. Interestingly, he had the same goalkeeping stats for both the second legs. He faced 5 shots and saved 5 of them. He is arguably the best goalkeeper in the world, and he made sure that he was doing his job well for Liverpool that night. Before watching the other 2 changes that Liverpool made, let's first do the reasonable thing and see what exactly Liverpool needed to do. If you rewatch the first leg and make a list of all the dangerous moments by Barcelona and what caused them, it would look like this. So in most cases someone, and to be fair that someone being Messi, dribbled to create a dangerous opportunity. And besides that, the other major threat was Jordi Alba's crosses. So Liverpool needed to take care of these 2 things for the starters. Look at this goal from the first leg. A cross into the box between the two centre backs and Suarez scores a tap-in. This goal is really disappointing from Liverpool's perspective. In this match, Barca attempted 3 crosses besides the set pieces and found a man inside the box all 3 times. In the next round, the number got scarier. Barca attempted 13 crosses, almost 4 times. But the point is, they found the man just once. The cross completion went from 100% to 8%. These stats represent Liverpool's tactic for this threat very well. They did not try to prevent the crosses, but managed this through defenders and goalkeeper being better prepared for this threat when the ball comes in the 18-yard box. Now on to the major threat. In the first leg, Messi hurt Liverpool a lot. He attempted 14 dribbles, with 12 of them being successful. Just look at those numbers. But for the second leg, Liverpool literally shut down space for dribbling. Look at the change in average positions. Milner, Fabinho, Van Dijk and Robertson giving so less space in the area where Messi operates. And not just that, they were effective in making tackles too. Being prepared for this threat resulted in Liverpool doubling the amount of dribbles they successfully tackled, and the success rate of tackling the dribbles went from 20% to 50%. This means Barca attempted 18 dribbles and was successful in just 9 of those. Messi suffered the most because of the less space, as he went from attempting 14 dribbles to just 5. So TLDR, Liverpool luckily scored 2 goals but killed Barcelona's attacking output strategically. It was a rare defensive performance on par with Atletico Madrid, and they did this by just making sure Barca don't hurt them the same way they did. They closed the space for Messi and dealt with Alba's crosses inside the box. Maybe Barca thought that 3-goal difference was enough and they would score at least 1 goal, but the goalkeeping performance prevented that.